inspiring stories, and I'd like to talk to you about another inspiring story that's inspiring on levels outside of the law and inspiring legally. I took a look at the rules for what you are looking for in deciding on a Street Fighter of the Year award, and they differ slightly from the Trial Lawyer of the Year. I think in this case, Bob and Ibiere deserve this award for fulfilling all of the requirements for Street Fighter, but they also need Trial Lawyer of the Year. Because at the end of the day, this case does demonstrate why the civil justice system works to provide justice where the criminal justice system did not work. And they also changed behavior and did right by a victim who now has a life that is absolutely rewarding. The case is somewhat simple. A young girl, 15 years of age, born and raised in the hood, as Ibiere referred to it, decides she wants a cheerleading uniform. And her next door neighbor, Mr. Morales, who was a 24-year employee of a cleaning business that would clean offices and warehouses in the LA County area, told her he would give her a job at night so she could buy a cheerleading uniform. And every night for a year, he took her to an office. She was 4'6" and weighed about 80 pounds. She looked like she was 9 years old, but she was 15. No one understood why she was there. And every night he molested her. He basically assaulted her. He would grab her, he would grope her, and he engaged in oral copulation. So he never paid her, he just stole from her. He was ultimately arrested, and he was charged. And the criminal justice system did not work, because at the end of the day, the DA said, it was he said, she said. And here's a 24-year employee of a company who is claiming he was a stellar employee and a young girl from the hood. And so he pled guilty shortly after the lawsuit was filed. He served a minimal amount of time in jail, and when he was released, he went back to live across the street from Shaniqua. She wound up having been a young girl who wanted to be a ballerina, who wanted to be pretty in pink. She wound up stealing cars, getting into prostitution. She took within a 1-year period 12 different illicit drugs, from heroin to crack cocaine to embalming fluid. I did not know somebody would do that, but she did. Methamphetamine, and you name it. And when Bob took on the case, he asked Ibiere to come in, and he knew that Shaniqua needed help. And Ibiere went to meet Shaniqua the first time in juvenile detention. She went 4 times to see her before she even talked to her about what had happened. And ultimately, Shaniqua explained to Ibiere what had occurred. And they went after the company, because of course Mr. Morales had nothing to give back for what he had done. And so they took on this company called the United Metro, or LA Metro or something. It's a privately owned company, does the cleaning in all these offices all around LA County every night. Morales had worked there for 24 years, and to a person, every single corporate representative from the owner down said they had no idea he would do anything like that. They had no belief that he could ever do that. And Bob and Ibiere didn't believe. They sent out an investigator who went to every single office that this man had worked at for 24 years. And that investigator asked every single person he could find. What do you know about this guy? And finally, one guy in Burbank said, I know about him. He gave him the name of 2 women, undocumented workers, who for 2 years had been complaining to the management that Mr. Morales was molesting them. And ultimately, they went to trial in Van Nuys. Bob and Ibiere set this case up beautifully. Everyone on the stand said, I had no idea. And these 2 undocumented women came in and said, oh yeah, they had an idea. They knew. He was supposed to have been fired. He never was. Ibiere and Bob hired or subpoenaed the company's personal lawyer who came in and said he was supposed to have been fired. They got a $2.6 million verdict, 40% against Morales, 60% against the company that had lied throughout. Now, beyond that story is the story of Shaniqua. During the trial, they nearly lost her. She tried to commit suicide 3 times. Her family was not a good family. It was a family that tried, but they did not succeed. And Ibiere kept on with this girl and ultimately got her into a foster home in Hayward, California, with a woman who had fostered her earlier in her life. She's now in school. She graduated high school. She's getting a beautician's degree. She's very pretty in pink.